How do you feel when you go into a match like this? There's been so much emotion involved with this team in the past, and I know old games may not have to do with anything with new games, but everybody feels it kind of coming into this one. Are you expecting anything extra?
I mean, I think what we expect is that you got like a final 8 game. You have two really good teams going to compete against each other, and this is what this tournament's about: is to try to get, as you advance, to get good quality games and good quality teams. And we expect a real intense battle. And it'll be across 2 legs, so it should be fun.
And you have another feeling, Corey? No, I'll go. We'll go to Claudio, and you guys can ask too if you have them.
BJ, when you face a team like America, who's pretty much set up to win everything every year because of its history, does it make a big difference in terms of it would have been at any other team in terms of preparation?
No. I mean, obviously we have great respect for Club America as a club and their team in the season that they're having now. They've got a lot of really good players on it, but we always prepare for the opponent the same way. And for us, it's, making sure that we get as much information about what they're trying to do as a team, and also get as much information as we can about each player, and then we can install that throughout our training. So we always try to stick to the same process to prepare.
Now, the fact that you don't know yet where you're going to be playing for the second half of this 180-minute game, does it make any uneasiness in you in terms of preparation as well?
No. I mean, we know going on the road is always going to be difficult. We're ready to play anywhere. That's what we do as professionals. But our focus right now is making sure that we have a really good, first leg performance in front of our home crowd.
Chris?
First time this season that you guys are coming off of a loss. What's the message to the team, and how do you anticipate them to respond?
Yeah, I mean, for us, we look at values like we respond. That's what we're going to be judged on. Every team's going to take a loss at some point in the season. We reflect on it, we refine what we're going to do, we learn, but the expectation is that we have a good, strong response, and that we've been able to get better in certain areas that we need to improve from the Chicago game.
And then just in terms of playing at home, what do you expect from the midweek game from the Nashville SC crowd at Geodis?
Yeah, this is a big game. It's a unique opportunity also to bring a big club here, not just a normal MLS game. So our expectation is that the fan base will show up. They'll be loud. They'll be supporting us just as they've always done. That's made Geodis Park a really difficult place to play for the opponent, and a really energized place for us to play.
BJ, going back to 2023 when, obviously Nashville beat America in the Leagues Cup, and there are 7 players from that team still around. Do you at this time maybe rely on some of those guys who have been there before and played in the match like that?
Yeah, I mean, we certainly, we always talk about the experiences. That's how we learn, and that's how we can prepare, guys that haven't been in this environment. But a lot of guys in this team have played in big games, and that's what this is. It's a big game. And we expect, a really good opponent to come in and be prepared. So, I don't think there's nothing different about it, but you always talk about the history, because that's how you learn.
And, you played what seemed like a mostly full strength lineup against Chicago on Saturday. What does that mean for just availability, and who kind of will be available? We'll be ready to go against America on Tuesday.
Yeah, we traveled back, had yesterday and today to take inventory. Everybody came out of the Chicago game healthy, and everybody's available.
Right.
When did the preparation for Club America start for you guys?
Internally, with the staff, we always start getting ahead. So I would say for the last 7 or 10 days, we've had staff members amongst our group working on the preparation of it. But in terms of preparing the team, we take that sort of one game at a time. So that started immediately after the Chicago game. We started to work and flip our process to preparing the team for Club America. But a lot of the legwork has been done by a great sort of backroom staff that we have that we certainly have to make sure that we're prepared.
Sort of touching on what Chris said, does the loss help this team sort of refocus 2 nights ago?
What I would say is that it helps us make sure that we learn things that Chicago did against us that we need to become better at. The good thing is we have a quick turnaround, and it re-energizes our group to make sure that we have a good response here at home.
Ernesto?
Miguel, you mentioned the intensity as a key factor Club America is now for slowing the game down in big moments, controlling the tempo. How does Nashville plan to impose its own rhythm and avoid getting drawn into America's game?
Yeah, for us, we always try to approach the game to be true to our style of play. So we want to be very difficult to play with without the ball. And then when we do get the ball, we want to use it. We want to be able to create high quality goal scoring chances. So for us, it's about adapting to what the game is giving us, but always finding solutions that is true to our identity.
And you say it before the video for the second leg doesn't affect your preparation right now, but Nashville has historically struggled away from home in this tournament. Does that certainly actually working against you when it coming to manage your squad energy over 2 legs?
I mean, for us, we know that we have the home game in the first game. We want to make sure that we have a good performance and get a good result. And then we'll be ready to, when the time comes, we'll be ready to travel to Mexico and play.
We'll come back to Corey and then we'll go to Zoom.
Coach, obviously you're in it you guys want to win trophies and win for Nashville, but as the league looks to elevate itself, how important is this matchup for the MLS in elevating the MLS?
Yeah, I think it goes hand in hand. I think what we want to do is, we're ambitious clubs, just like, the opponents that we play. And, Club America has a great history, and we're Nashville, and we're starting to build our history of being a trophy winning club. And we want to continue to take those steps forward. And the opportunity to play against a really good team like Club America is just another opportunity for us to move forward in terms of, putting ourselves into the upper echelon of soccer in this North America.
We'll go to the Zoom and you guys can ask too as well if you have one. We'll start with Ben.
Yeah, BJ. Obviously, MLS rosters have a lot of parity, just kind of in the way that they're built. That kind of goes out the window when you play Liga MX and just their ability to add maybe an amount of high quality players that you don't usually see in MLS. How does that change how you have to prepare for a team like Club America when you could be facing like 4 or 5 or 6 DP level players?
I mean, it's we like we talk about. We always try to just prepare the same way. We believe in the group that we have, and we know that we have enough here that we believe we can win the game, and that's what we're focused on. And we're focused on making sure that our players have all the information to go against their individual matchups that they have, and then collectively, make sure we have a good game plan to play against a really strong opponent.
And then just looking kind of at the 2-leg format. What I guess what changes when you're playing the first leg at home, and I guess how much emphasis do you have to put on not just keeping a clean sheet, but getting goals at Geodis, knowing that it's going to be even tougher playing away on the second leg?
Yeah, I think that it's important that we get off to a good start. It's important that, we are trying to create goal scoring chances. Goals are important. Goals are, obviously how you win the game. But also I think how you sort of control the series. So, for us, the objective is the same: to play the way that we do, to play with energy behind our home crowd, and look to get a good result.
Go ahead.
Hey, BJ, as a staff, is it harder to prepare for teams outside of MLS? Is there less info available for you guys, or is it the same as teams within MLS?
So in terms of information, the information that we can get is exactly the same as that we would get in the MLS. I think what it is there's just obviously a little bit less familiarity. You watch more MLS games, you watch them inside and out, and you just watch it at a higher volume. But in terms of the way that we prepare and the information that we are able to get from both video, data, and all the other ways that we get information, it's all the exact same, and the way we prepare is exactly the same.
And then we were talking to some of the guys before the Miami game, and they were saying, talking about dark arts and all sorts of stuff and how they talk amongst each other. When it comes to a big game like Club America, do you, as the staff, kind of try to explain to the newer guys what it means to play against this, or is this something you kind of let the players take care of it themselves?
I think both. We talk about what type of game it's going to be. We talk about the type of environment we're going to be playing in, and the context around every game. That's very important. And it's part of everything that goes into preparing to win a game. And we have to be prepared to do whatever it takes to get the result that we want.
Adrian.
Hi, thank you for your timing.
Thank you.
Did you have a question, Adrian?
Do you have any message for your upcoming opponent from America, especially considering they drew in the last match? Thank you so much.
Do you have a message for Club America?
No.
All right, any other questions in the room?
Your right side's been so dynamic with the addition of Espinosa and Andy, those guys down there. Are you getting enough from the left?
Yeah, I mean, obviously, I think we still, the attack, the way we attack is balanced. We're always looking to try to get the ball from the left to the right or right to the left. And, at the same time, I think, some of the goal scoring, the finishing, some of the attacks has come off of our left side. So yeah, I think, there's always creation maybe on the right side, but a lot of the finishing comes off the left. And, I think it's, a much better, we have a good balance right now of being, both sides.
Maybe to piggyback off of that, how important has Andy been for you guys' success over the last year and a couple of months?
Yeah, I mean, I think whenever you can put a player like him who can create, he can create individually on the dribble, he can create through combination play, and then he also can make, a variety of sort of final passes, whether that's crossing from high positions, low positions, or sort of playing into the penalty box. So it's to have a playmaker coming from deep and to add an extra number coming from deep, it's really important.
We'll go to Ernesto, and then we'll finish if you quiet. That's what I said. Go ahead, Ernesto.
Club America have experienced player in the two legs knockout format. Given that the venue for the second leg yet, how does that uncertainty actually affect the risk level of your tactics in this first game at home?
Yeah, I mean, we have great respect for Club America. So again, wherever we play them, the respect is always going to be high for them as a club. The respect is always going to be high for their individual players and their individual quality. But at the same time, here at Nashville, we have confidence that we've got a great group. We've shown that over a period of time. Confidence comes from doing what you say you're going to do. And we've been able to beat good opponents here. We've been able to advance in this competition just like them. And we look forward to a great match tomorrow night. Looking eye to eye against a very good opponent.
PJ, what would this scouting report tells you about where's this team most dangerous? America.
I mean, I think what you see is their ability to sort of stretch opponents out. They have the ability to break lines and play very quickly through the middle of the field in combination play. And then if that's not there, they have really dynamic wingers. I know Zendejas from working with him at the national team, a great person first and foremost, but a really dynamic player again who can beat you on the dribble, can beat you in combination play, and if you give him time and space, someone that can shoot from distance with real accuracy.
Thanks, guys. We're back with Andy.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Absolutely, thanks, guys.
It's good.
Yes.